The U.S. Federal Communications Commission said Monday that its website was hit by deliberate denial-of-service attacks after the telecommunications regulator was criticized by comedian John Oliver for its plan to reverse net neutrality rules. The attacks came soon after Oliver on Sunday urged viewers to file electronic comments with the FCC opposing the plan unveiled by FCC Chairman Ajit Pai to reverse rules implemented under President Barack Obama that boosted government regulatory powers over Internet service providers. Pai's plan faces an initial vote on May 18. Oliver, in his HBO show Last Week Tonight, owned by Time Warner Incorporated, TWX.N, urged viewers to use a website purchased by the show that takes visitors directly to an FCC page to file comments. The proposal has received more than 100,000 comments since Sunday, a sign of intense interest in a proposal that could reshape the future of the Internet. The FCC said it was subject to multiple distributed denial-of-service attacks. These were deliberate attempts by external actors to bombard the FCC's comment system with a high amount of traffic to our commercial cloud host. The FCC added the attacks made it difficult for legitimate commenters to access and file with the FCC. The net neutrality rules, which the FCC put in place in 2015, prohibit broadband providers from giving or selling access to speedy Internet, essentially a fast lane, to certain Internet services over others. Pai wants comment on whether the FCC should retain rules governing provider conduct. The rules reclassified providers much like utilities. They were favored by websites who said they guarantee equal Internet access but opposed by Internet providers who said they could eventually result in rate regulation, inhibit innovation and make it harder to manage traffic. Pai said he believed the rules depressed investment by providers and cost jobs. Oliver in 2014 helped galvanize support for net neutrality. The FCC then received more than 4 million comments, most in favor of the rules. On Sunday, Oliver harshly criticized Pai, saying he plays dumb about why Internet providers do not want net neutrality rules and called him deeply disingenuous. An FCC spokesman did not comment on Oliver's remarks. One Internet provider, AT&T Incorporated, T.N, which opposed the Obama rules, in October agreed to buy Time Warner for $85.40 billion. Last night, John Oliver told his viewers to go to the FCC via a domain they bought, gofkyourself.com, and submit comments in favor of net neutrality. It was funny. A laugh. A light-hearted jape with a serious point. Even funnier, not long after the segment aired, the FCC's website crashed. Many believed that the Oliver segment was to blame, not an unreasonable thought, given what happened last time the British comedian covered net neutrality. But now, the FCC is claiming it was the target of multiple distributed denial-of-service (DOS) attacks. According to a statement posted on the FCC's website from the agency's chief information officer, beginning on Sunday night at midnight, our analysis reveals that the FCC was subject to multiple distributed denial-of-service attacks, DOS. These were deliberate attempts by external actors to bombard the FCC's comment system with a high amount of traffic to our commercial cloud host. These actors were not attempting to file comments themselves, rather they made it difficult for legitimate commenters to access and file with the FCC. While the comment system remained up and running the entire time, these DOS events tied up the servers and prevented them from responding to people attempting to submit comments. We have worked with our commercial partners to address this situation and will continue to monitor developments going forward. As Recode reporter Tony Rom pointed out, this statement raises a lot more questions than it answers. What is the analysis that apparently proves the crash came from a coordinated attack, and not from Oliver's segment? How did those performing that analysis figure this out? For outside observers, it's tough to say exactly what's going on. A DOS and a crash due to an innocent increase in traffic would both likely look fairly similar for the user. What differentiates a website crashing due to genuine traffic from a DOS attack is that DOS typically involves a hacker commanding a botnet, an army of malware-infected devices, to flood a website with traffic, clogging it with requests until it becomes inaccessible to the public. But given the dearth of details in the FCC's statement, it's pretty much impossible for anyone not privy to the analysis to tell what actually happened. Moreover, according to tweets sent at the time, the site went down almost immediately after Oliver's show ended. Either way, it's odd and unfortunate timing, both for the FCC and for people who were trying to file comments. If the DOS attack really did occur, it's easy to see this as the FCC attempting to distract from getting epically owned by so many pro-net neutrality commenters. And if it didn't, the FCC would be telling a pretty big fib about why people couldn't access the site. Multiple attempts to reach the agency weren't immediately returned. FCC, please call me. Update 5:45 p.m. FCC spokesperson Mark Wigfield provided the following statement: after we asked how the FCC knew there was a DOS separate from commenters directed to the site from John Oliver's segment, Libby, we know it was a DOS attack. We have no way of knowing the motivation. Fight for the Future, a pro-net neutrality digital rights advocacy organization, has called on the FCC to immediately release its logs to an independent security analyst or major news outlet to verify exactly what happened last night. The FCC said that it was subject to multiple distributed denial-of-service attacks starting on Sunday night, hours after John Oliver called on viewers of his HBO series last week tonight to file comments to urge the agency to preserve current net neutrality rules. These were deliberate attempts by external actors to bombard the FCC's comment system with a high amount of traffic to our commercial cloud host, said David Bray, the FCC's chief information officer. These actors were not attempting to file comments themselves, rather they made it difficult for legitimate commenters to access and file with the FCC. He said that the attacks began at midnight. He did not say whether the attacks were in any way related to Oliver's segment. An FCC spokesman, Mark Wigfield, said that the attacks ended about 8:45 a.m. this morning. Oliver urged viewers to go to the FCC's website to file comments, just as he did in 2014, when the FCC was deliberating its latest version of net neutrality rules. Bray said that the comment system remained up and running the entire time, but that the attacks tied up the servers and prevented them from responding to people attempting to submit comments. We have worked with our commercial partners to address this situation and will continue to monitor developments going forward, he said. So far, there have been more than 100,000 filings on net neutrality since Sunday, the bulk of them since Oliver's show, according to a reading of the FCC file. Oliver announced on the air that they had secured a URL, gofgearself.com, to make it easier for users to find the proceeding and comment page. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai has proposed repealing the FCC's reclassification of Internet service as a Title II common carrier. That was the regulatory maneuver the agency took in 2015 to impose a robust set of net neutrality rules. Critics of Pai's proposal say it would weaken the rules and diminish the agency's authority. Fight for the Future, a group that pushed for the 2015 net neutrality rules and is defending them now, said that the incident raises questions of just what happened. The FCC should immediately release its logs to an independent security analyst or major news outlet to verify exactly what happened last night, said Evan Greer, the group's campaign director. The public deserves to know, and the FCC has a responsibility to maintain a functioning website and ensure that every member of the public who wants to submit a comment about net neutrality has the ability to do so. Anything less is a subversion of our democracy.